Greetings, beloved brothers and sisters. I wish to speak with you today about recovery from abuse. Both of those words can have many different meanings. If you are a child, there are certain expectations that you have that society agrees with, that on some level, your nature, your very being, is to be supported and loved and protected so that you can grow and explore in a safe environment. Many of us, when we look back, can see that the adults who were raising us, while they may have done the best they could, dropped the ball in many areas. Perhaps they restricted us too much. Perhaps they allowed other people to take care of us who weren't as conscious of our needs and more interested in their own needs. When what is called abuse takes place, there's a violation on some level of an expectation of safety. The abuse can be sexual, physical, of the nature of neglect or harm. There can be financial abuse. But again, abuse has to do with a collectively defined word of how people should be treated. When you're very young, you don't know what abuse is. So you believe that it has something to do with you. It shapes how you feel about yourself, how you feel about the world. And it affirms and reaffirms your separation from others, from your own body, and ultimately from God. While this can be overdone and one false look can be interpreted as abuse, for many people, this follows them throughout life. A feeling that they can't trust others, they can't trust themselves, that there must be something wrong with them, that the people who ostensibly love them more than anyone else would allow this to happen. There are feelings of anger and hurt, resentment, distrust. And at the bottom of it is a feeling of betrayal. Betrayed by those who should have known better. Sometimes the problem is compounded when you bring the abuse to someone's attention and they don't defend you, or worse, blame you, or are unwilling to bring to the surface what has really happened. And so your life is about keeping secrets and not allowing yourself to be authentic. This is a kind of hell. So what is the answer to all this? The answer is twofold. On the highest level, it's useful to realize that there are no victims and there are no perpetrators, despite how appearances look. That this is a nightmarish dream, but that's all it is. And that who you are is not injured, abused, victimized, betrayed. None of those things apply to who you really are. And even the people who did the abuse, what you call abuse, volunteered to do so for a reason. It's very easy to use a spiritual explanation to deny your feelings and to make light of something that's quite painful. I'm not advocating that. But I am saying that it's worth another look. It's worth a different perspective. To see yourself as the projector on the screen and not just the character on the screen can be very powerful. But it's not enough. This one likes to use the expression, that would be like putting icing over dog dew. You don't end up with something really edible. So while that perspective has merit, it has to be followed by a willingness on your part to feel what you've been unwilling to feel all these years. To let yourself feel without judgment all the feelings in your body associated with abuse, betrayal, denial, resentment, hurt, isolation, separation, whatever that feels like needs to be felt. That is partly why you came here, for this experience. And it's not to indulge in that. It's to expose those feelings and bring them to God and release them. And lovingly feel what you need to feel and then release it. In a certain sense, what you're dealing with seems so unfair. You can make a very strong case for the unfairness of it all. Why would a child be subjected to such treatment? Why would anyone? And yet, consider that this experience that you have brought to yourself and have reinforced with your thoughts is actually to reveal your magnificence to you, to let you know your strength, the overwhelming power of love, the blessing of forgiveness, and the experience of being unscathed, untouched, unblemished, undamaged by all of it. It has no more effect on you, who you really are, than does a dream. This has to be known deeply, experienced deeply. Let yourself feel what you feel from a loving place and give those feelings to me. We will transform them together. And you will rise to who you really are. My brother, my sister, in your own magnificence. You'll be able to see everyone else's as well. It may not happen overnight, but your willingness to allow this to happen will greatly accelerate your realization of the truth. I love you very much, and I'll speak with you again soon.